Welcome, LifeBlood. This is George G, and the time is right. Welcome to today's guest, strong and powerful Dawn Dahlby. Dawn, are you ready to do this?
Oh, absolutely. On this special day, you got it, George. Let's go.
Let's go. Dawn is a CFP, a BFA, a CRPC. She is a CEO. She is the first certified behavioral financial advisor in the United States. She's an author. Her newest book is Live Wealthy, Own Your Worth, Grow Your Wealth. Dawn, I'm so glad to have you back on the show. Refresh our memories. Tell us a little bit about your personal life, some more about your work, and what motivated you to put pen to paper again.
Yes. Well, first of all, that introduction, too many C's, too many acronyms, too many, like whatever the hell any of that means. All that means is that I've been in the financial services industry for 23 years, helping clients build their financial plans, helping them manage their assets, minimize their taxes, all of the things around money. And yes, brand new book came out on April 11th. Super excited. It's called Live Wellthy, Wellthy. But I also want to talk about George has a brand new book out today, the day we're recording this. So that's pretty exciting too. And his book, How to Get Good at Money. So we both have money books out. So that's what we're going to talk about today, right?
That sounds like an awesome plan to me.
Yeah,
So
let's do it.
So 23 years. I think you have me by 1 or 2 years,
Yeah,
Dawn. Did
because I'm
did did
way older than you.
like I started in 2001, so literally it's just 1 or 2 years. And are you from Minnesota, Dawn?
I am. Do you hear the accent or do you remember?
I well, I'm from Minnesota also. I'm from up
Yes.
north a little bit in Duluth. Anyway, so look at all these commonalities.
Mm-hmm. Book,
Um,
Minnesota, accents, age, right? I know we have it all together.
so tell us about the new book. What was the problem? What are the problems? What are you hoping to have the book do? All that.
Yeah, all of the things about the Live Wealthy book. So, I started calculating out how many client meetings I've sat in, and it's like tens of thousands, one on one with clients, helping them build their financial plan. And I remember, halfway in my career, about 10 plus years ago, I've been able to watch clients go from, very little in their portfolios to finally them becoming financially independent and reaching their financial goals. And then I'm like, you made it. And you would expect this like big pop, the pop of the champagne and congratulations, and you're financially independent. And instead of the excitement, I would get clients being like, well, Dawn, we just want to change how much our target goal is. We just want a little bit more money. And I'm like, okay, I get it, right? We all want more money. I mean, George, who doesn't want more money, right? Everyone listening to this podcast, we all want more money because we want more life, we want more experiences and opportunities. However, what I learned is that fear was dictating those reasons for wanting more money in their lives. And I'm like, so not only does every single human being need the technical advice on how to build a financial plan? How do you have the right type of insurance protection? How do you have the right type of investments, minimize taxes, like all the things to build your wealth? Like we need that, but what we also need, and I believe we've been giving a disservice to our clients, is that we need to understand this fear-based or emotional relationship we have with money, and not allowing money to control us, but where we are in control of our money. So I realized that I needed to give clients not just the technical advice, but also like the psychological advice on really having them finally, kind of break those purse strings and arrive at this place of enoughness. Now, I don't know if enoughness is a word, but that's what but this place of living free and secure at the same time and being enough. So that's why I wrote the book. Does that make sense?
Not only does it make sense, but I love it, and I
Okay.
love
Oh,
I I
nice.
love enoughness. It's I don't know, is that contrary to our culture of wanting more of private jets and flashier cars and whatever.
Yeah. I actually feel like it's the yin and yang of enoughness. Like it's okay. I believe it's okay to want more. And I believe that's what living wealthy really is. It's like, it's okay to want more, but arriving at a place where you know you have enough, and even just as important, or actually more important than having enough, is knowing that you are enough. And so I believe it's okay. We all want more. We all continue to grow and evolve and change. So wanting more is cool, but not at the root fear of of fear. Not letting that control our life's decisions, where we know that we are enough the way we have, like, we have enough and we are enough, but if we want more, that's okay too. And I think we need to, as human beings, really compare our wealthiness, our WELL, our wealthiness, to others based on, this enoughness, not just comparing people on how much money they have in the bank. It's about the yin and yang and the psychology and the technical advice at the same time. And I believe if people can arrive at that place, like, then we have a completely different world, because people are thinking differently about what is possible and how to live their life, if that also makes sense. And you're going to say, not only does that make sense, but you agree, right, George? Come on.
Yeah. I again, yes, I'm looking
Yes.
for opportunities to say no, you're wrong, but I have not found any yet. It's okay to want more. I think that is at the heart of what our purpose is as human beings, is to continue to be striving to improve. But to your point, not in the name of just accumulating more stuff. It's okay to be wanting more, but to be feeling that I'm satisfied and certainly worthy of the person that I am. So it's not me acting out of fear or inadequacy or anything like that. It's just it's okay to be striving.
And I think, like, what is that more for us? Like, you and I, I don't know if you're in your 50s yet, but I might be, are, like, what are more, our definition of more, I think, changes as we continue to age. And, like, it's so funny. Like, I look back in my 20s and 30s, I wanted the things. I wanted the material things, and I still like the things. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not downplaying the things, like the nice cars or houses or whatever. But I just want more experiences, and I want more love and connection with people, and and just, like, the opportunities to think differently and live bigger. And that does take money, but that definition of more, and having that purposeful driven money, which you also talk about, is so vitally important. So let me ask you this. Okay, so he's the host, but let me just take right over. How have what I just said about my book, how does that compare, in contrast or in similarities, to your book on how to get good with money?
I spend a lot of time thinking about how the unexamined life is not worth living, and how we go through different seasons of life. When I was in my 20s, the things that I want today, when I'm in my 40s, are very different. And when I'm in my 60s, they will be different still, but that's all good. And what's important from my perspective is that we must all have these conversations for ourselves, because we need to run our own race, and we need to pursue our own version of happiness and stop living under somebody else's expectations or assumptions or terms, because life is way too short.
I love that. And really, what it comes down to in your book and in my book is really, like you said, it's taking a second to stop and think, and making sure we're just not there looking for more income and more, and just more income to pay more taxes, or we're not just looking for more investments. Like, what type of more do we want, and the reason why behind it. And I think, in the day we live in, I mean, what do they say on people on social media? Like, our attention spans are 2.3 seconds or something crazy like that. It's we all need to slow that F down and just think a little bit more, because when you do that, you give yourself more time, and, in essence, more life and fulfillment. That's what we all want.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. And
Yeah.
whatever it is that you want is okay. I'm fond of saying that I've never taken a vow of poverty. I'd love going out and getting coffee. It's one of my favorite things. So that's not going to prevent you from becoming a millionaire. And Just because
Mm-mm.
unless people say that something is bad, that's really irrelevant. So I think it does a lot. So much of it does come down to what your ideas are, and the only way that we know what our ideas are is if we actually spend time thinking about these things.
Thinking, using this free resource of our brain that either takes us left or takes us right, right? It can take us down the mental health issues and the anxiety and, all of that kind of stuff that we all suffer with, but it also can take you down the right path and thinking bigger about your life. Like, I love the fact that you just put up the Starbucks coffee. And I love the fact that, like, if someone told me that I couldn't have my coffee, and I needed to save my $4 on my coffee, I'm like, well, wait a second. That just gave me the energy to write my book, just like it gave you the energy to write your book. And you're impacting more lives and making more money than the $4 it costs you to drink that coffee. So again, I love this synergy that we have. And it's really about thinking. It's using this tool that we all have and using it in a positive way to make change in our life. And clearly, post COVID, we all need change. We're all looking for change, right? We're all looking for a different way to operate and to live our lives. And I think that's super critically important, that this message is to stop and think.
What a perfect time to be questioning everything, which I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we are. Now we're questioning how we raise our kids and police our communities and everything else. And so
Mm-hmm.
why wouldn't we be thinking about really everything? I think I know that you have such a wonderfully unique perspective because you've been a practicing financial advisor for 23 years. And so how you interacted with clients in year one is different than year 10 and now year 20 and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And so that you're thoughtful and you took time to write the book, I think is super cool. How do you hmm, as you're looking at how your perspective on being an advisor has changed, which I assume that it has. Um, what do you think that your role is as a financial advisor for your clients?
Such a great question. The the foundation's always the same, right? We're always looking for how to maximize our having our money work harder than we do for it. So it's about minimizing, it's about investing, of course, and minimizing the fees in your investments and minimizing the taxes to have your money work hard for you. And then also looking at the tax from not just an income perspective, but how are you minimizing the taxes from an investment perspective? So it's the having your money work and minimizing your taxes are the foundation to that has never changed in building wealth. But the biggest thing that has really changed in how I deliver money in my mindset is that I was just sitting in the chair in my office for so many years of going, I'm helping millionaires become multimillionaires. And the people that really need my advice are the non-millionaires that want to become the millionaires and want to do the right things, but they don't have access to people that have been in the business for 2 decades because we don't make money off of the non-millionaires, right? So we don't want to help those people. So I kept thinking, gosh, this whole mindset of how I work with clients needs to change. And so what I did is over the last 5 years, I developed this digital online advisory platform, and I went back to those first couple of meetings I had with clients, and I was like, how do I create this in a new innovative way where we can give that advice? Like, that advice was literally looking at people's their spending plan and going, how much do you have left over at the end of the month? And the clients would say, oh, negative 300. Like, like nobody had money left over, and we call it discretionary money. And I'm like, okay, so you don't have any money left over, but we need to find a way to help you save for the future. So what I would do is just take a look at all of their expenses and start going, okay, we need to minimize your tax bill over here. We need to stop wasting money on, the wrong type of insurance plans. And we need to stop, wasting money on, maybe all the extra money we're spending on our kids or going out to dinner, whatever it is, right? You could always I have this way of finding money in people's, I don't even want to call them budgets, but their spending plans. And so I looked for how do we really save taxes and stop wasting our money so we can take that money and apply it towards people's todays and their tomorrows? And I think the thing that's changed most in my life is about, creating this digital online platform for the younger generation, but really teaching the younger generation that, you know what, you actually don't have to give up today to plan for tomorrow. Like, that's a big thing. Like, we used to think we had to like get this negative scarcity budget mindset, can't have our Starbucks, which I see you like sipping on that as we talk. But we don't have to do that. We can still live freely today if we stop wasting our money. And I think that's really shifted in my in how I run my business and how I give advice to clients. But it's so true. It's just, we don't nobody wants to be on a diet the rest of their life. So we want to make sure that we're not on a budget either. We want to like have fluidity and freedom in how we build our wealth. And I think that's so critically important for people today to hear that.
What's wrong with the word budget? You seem to hate it, Dawn.
I hate it. You know what? I have a big personality, and it like when people tell me I need to be on a diet or I need to have a budget, like, budgets are important, but it's about it's the word that drives me crazy. What I like, and because budgets don't really work. If you look at what a real budget is, it's like nickeling and diming every little category, and it's like, well, last time I checked, I don't do the same things every month. So instead of a budget, we like to come up with these, I call them spending plans, where there's about 3 or 4 different buckets of money that you can spend, and it gives you flexibility. So granted, if you want to write a book like Crazy George did and you need 50,000 Starbucks in 1 month, then go do it. It's just, you can't have the other things. It's about prioritizing your spending is really what it comes down to. Is you can't have everything, but you can prioritize and have limits on certain things at certain times. It's just about prioritizing, but so you can still live your today, right? In your core values today. I want everyone to know that they don't have to give up today. And they don't have to have a scarcity budget mindset. Do you budget, George? Let's be real. Do you budget?
No, I hate budgeting.
Okay. And it doesn't work. We hate it, right? Because it doesn't work.
My wife keeps our budget, and I hated it forever because I felt like I was getting in trouble. I felt like I was a little kid that was getting called into the principal's office. And I appreciate everything you're talking about having a spending plan and prioritizing your spending and doing your best to align it to our core values, because that's the trick. I don't care if I'm within my budget. I do care if I'm allocating my resources in the smartest possible way that is congruent with what's most important to me. So,
right. Yeah. And that is so important. And it, going back to the whole food, the diet and the budget thing, they go hand in hand. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, yesterday was Sunday. I might've had a big plate of nachos that was this big.
Let's go.
Right. I know. And just like the sour cream and guac and the cheese and the chicken and the pork, and the chips. It was so amazing. But again, prioritizing, like, if I did that every day, I would be broke and fat. But the other thing is like today, then I do intermittent fasting. Like, I don't eat until noon, and I'm having just black coffee, and then I'm having a salad today, and I'll do that the rest of the week. But it's that same concept about, it's the balance, and it's prioritizing and making sure we're doing the right things 80% of the time, and letting the purse strings little loose, or letting, us enjoy life a little bit without the guilt that we have with eating and with money. I mean, it's so important.
You need to find something that's going to be sustainable. It's got to work. Otherwise, we're just going to stop doing it.
Yes. And by the way, let's talk, okay, growing money is so much easier than like exercising too. If you think about like health and the combination or the comparison of health to wealth, the older we get, the harder it is to stay healthy, right? It's the hard, it takes more energy because we don't want to, we can't work out as hard as we age. And it's just this constant battle. We got to get up. We got to make smart food decisions. We got to make smart exercising decisions. Money's completely opposite. Like, if you're in your 20s or 30s, like, you just have to set it up. And then the older you get, And the more money, the harder it works for you. And it's just like when people always ask me, like, gosh, it's so hard to have your money, like have a lot of money. It's like, it actually isn't. It's way easier than taking care of your body. It's so much easier. Because again, comes back to the core values. Most of us have core values around money, wanting wealth, and we want to have health. And I mean, we didn't have those, we wouldn't be able to survive. So super important concepts to us, but like growing your money is actually easier than keeping your body healthy, which I don't know if you've ever thought of it like that, but it's so true, right?
I have not, and I think it's great. That getting older is certainly a drag, and yes, it gets harder. But as long as we do have and are doing the right things when we're younger, you put the systems or processes in place, and then just really it grows and grows and grows and compounds, and
Right.
it's actually easier. So
I mean, I did a video earlier this morning, and I'm like, I've never had, and I said in this video, I never had one person come back to me when they started saving in their 20s and 30s that said, "Oh, we got to stop. We got to put the brakes on now because I can't afford that Roth or I can't afford that savings plan." It's either like it's out of sight, out of mind. They forget about it. They magically work within what's left over. And they realize that after you do that for a year or so, that you're either going to pay the IRS or you're going to pay yourself more. It's not equal dollar to dollar, but you pay the IRS less and you pay yourself more, and it almost comes out to similar dollars if you do it right and stop wasting money and you have this flexible spending plan that we're talking about. It's like people don't understand that, like, you don't miss it, right? It's that foundation of building wealth has always been the key, and it's easier when you're younger to build wealth
amen. Well,
and
don't
to
think
work out.
yes. It's got to work out a little bit harder on those days that you're eating that plate of nachos,
I
Dawn.
know, I know. I'm probably bringing that up because I didn't exercise on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and I had nachos twice and sat outside. It was just fantastic. But like I'm feeling probably. I mean, if we're gonna be real, I'm probably a little guilty today, but it's okay. It's okay.
This too shall pass, Dawn.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming back on, Dawn. It was wonderful to see and talk with you again. Where can people learn more about you? Where can they get their copy of Live Wealthy, Own Your Worth, Grow Your Wealth?
Yes. So anyone and everyone can find me right on my website, which is my name, Dawn Dahlby, DAWNDAHLBY.com. You can purchase the book directly from the website, or you can go to Amazon if you want as well.
Excellent. Well, if you enjoyed this as much as I did, show down your appreciation and share today's show with a friend who also appreciates good ideas. Go to dawndahlby.com, DAWNDAHLBY. Pick up your copy of Live Wealthy, Own Your Worth, Grow Your Wealth, and check out all the other great resources that Dawn has worked on and put together, and everything else to help you to also get better at money and become the wealthy version that you want to be. Thanks again, Dawn.
Thank you.
Until next time, remember, do your part by doing your best.